Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Upsc Cse Insights with Subhash. Hello guys, how are you all? I hope you are all doing good and studying well. Today we are going to discuss about the topic our changing earth from the geography class textbook class 7th. First of all, lithospheric plates. The lithosphere is broken into a number of plates known as lithospheric plates. This is because of the movement of the molten magma inside the earth. The molten magma inside the earth moves in a circular manner as shown in the activity. In this activity, the movement of these plates causes changes on the surface of the earth. With the movement of these plates, that lithosphere plates, there is a changes on surface of the earth. The earth movements are divided on the basis on the forces which cause them. Forces which act in the interior of the earth are called as endogenic forces, and the forces that work on the surface of the earth are called exogenic forces. Here there are two forces, endogenic and exogenic. What are endogenic forces? The forces which act in the interior of the earth, inside the earth, are called endogenic forces, and the forces that work on the surface of the earth, that means outside the earth, surface of the earth, are called exogenic forces. Here there is an evolution of landforms, earth movements, endogenic forces and exogenic forces. Endogenic forces are divided into two types, sudden forces, diastrophic forces. Sudden forces examples, earthquake, volcano, landslides. For diastrophic forces, building mountains. For exogenic forces, erosional and depositional. For example, by river, by wind, by sea waves, and by glaciers. This is the evolution of landforms. Endogenic forces sometimes produce sudden movements and at other times produce slow movements. Sudden movements like earthquakes and volcanoes cause mass destruction over the surface of the earth. A volcano is a vent, that means opening in the earth's crust through which molten material erupts suddenly. Here this is a picture of a volcano which is erupting. Here this is a vent, this is lava, and upper one is crater. Gases and ash are coming out, and this is crust and this is mantle. This is the magma in the magma chamber. Lithospheric plates move, the surface of the earth vibrates. When these lithospheric plates moves, then the surface of the earth vibrates. These vibrations are called as earthquakes. The place in the crust where the movement starts is called the focus. Place on the surface above the focus is called epicenter. Now we are going to see this in the picture. This is called as focus, and quite above the focus is called epicenter. This is plate boundary, and these are the seismic waves radiate out in all directions. Focus. Focus means this is where the earthquake occurs. It is the origin of the seismic energy. This is an origin of an earthquake. Although earthquakes cannot be predicted, it can impact certainly be minimized if we are prepared beforehand. Some common earthquake prediction methods adopted locally by people including studying animal behavior. That means fishes in the ponds get agitated, snakes which are in the underground come to the surface. Here we can see the picture of an destruction caused by an earthquake in Gujarat. And here is the case study of earthquake which hits Bhuj. Earthquake preparedness. Where to take shelter during an earthquake? Safe spot. Under a kitchen counter, table or desk, against an inside corner or wall. Stay away from fireplaces, areas around chimneys, windows that shatter including mirrors and picture frames. Be prepared. Spread awareness amongst your friends and family members and face any disaster confidently. Major landforms. The landscape is being continuously worn away by two processes. They are weathering and erosion. What is weathering? Weathering is the breaking up of the rocks on the earth's surface. What is erosion? Erosion is wearing away of the landscape by different agents like water, wind and ice. There are different types of erosion. We know about the soil erosion. It is the wearing away of the soil by the different agents like water, wind, etc. The eroded material is carried away or transported by the water, wind, etc. and eventually deposit. This process of erosion and deposition create different landforms on the surface of the earth. While coming to the work of a river, the running water in a river erodes the landscape. When the river tumbles at a steep angle over very hard rocks or down a steep valley side, it forms a waterfall. Here we can see the picture of an waterfall. This is the hard rock and is the softer rock undercut by the power of the water. As the river enters the plain, it twists and turns forming large bends known as meanders. In due course of the time, the meander loop cuts off from the river and forms a cut-off lake, also known as Oxbow Lake. Oxbow Lake. Here we can see the features made by a river in a floodplain. This is the Oxbow Lake, which is a meander loop cuts of the river from a cut-off lake, also known as Oxbow Lake. Here this is the meander. These are the leaves, and these are the floodplains. This leads to the flooding of the neighbor areas. As it floods, it deposits layers of fine oil, fine soil, and other material called sediments along its banks. This leads to the formation of flat, fertile floodplain. The raised banks are called leaves. These are called leaves. The collection of sediments from all the mouths forms a delta. And next, we are going to see about the work of sea waves. Erosion and deposition of the sea waves gives rise to the coastal landforms. Sea waves continuously strike at the rocks. Cracks develop over time, they became large and wider. Hollow-like caves are formed on the rocks. They are called sea caves. These are sea caves which are developed by the cracks over time. They became large and wider. They are called as sea caves. As these cavities become bigger and bigger, only the roof of the caves remains, forming sea arches. These caves are the cavities becomes bigger and bigger, only the roof of the caves remains. So this formation is called as sea arches. Further, erosion breaks the roof and only walls are left. These walls-like structures or features are called stacks. This is called stack. These are the features made by the sea waves. Steepy rocky coast rising almost vertically above seawater is called sea cliff. Now we are going to see about the working of ice. Are rivers of ice, which too erode the landscape by bulldozing soil and stones to expose the solid rock below. The material carried by the glacier such as rocks big, small, sand and silt gets deposited. These deposits form glacial moraines. Glacial moraines means these are the materials which are carried by the glaciers such as rocks big and small and big rocks, sand and silt gets deposited. These deposits forms glacial moraines. Now we are going to see about the work of wind. It is an active agent of erosion and decomposition or deposition in the deserts is wind. In deserts you can see rocks in the shape of mushroom, commonly called mushroom rocks. When it stops blowing, the sand falls and gets deposited in low hill-like structures. These are called sand dunes, where when such sand is deposited in the large areas, it is called as loess. These large deposits of loess is found in China. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you understand this video, you understand this chapter. So please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.